Good morning, super readers. Thank you for joining us in our PBS classroom. My name is Mrs. Nix.
Hi, and I'm Mrs. Vang.
And I'm Mrs. O'Leary.
And this is our place where we come to learn, practice, and
Grow our brains
to become even stronger readers and writers. So let's get started by warming up our brains and doing some ear training called
Daily Phonemic Awareness.
Now today we're going to identify and generate rhyme. Okay, so what does that mean? Let me show you an example. I'm going to give you two words and we need to identify, do they rhyme? So here are my two words. Lot, hot. They both say ought. That means they rhyme. Lot and hot both have ought at the end. Now to generate something, we have to think to ourselves, what's another word that can rhyme with lot and hot? Not. That's another word that has ought at the end. So lot, hot, not. They all have ought. Great. Okay, you guys ready to help me with some? Okay, here are two words. Using those ears, turn them on. Okay, mop and top. They both say op. Good job. Can we think of another word that rhymes with mop and top?
How about pop?
That's a great one. Mop, top, pop. They all say op. Good job. How about these two words? Pot, pit.
I have my listening ears on.
They don't rhyme.
They don't rhyme.
Pot and pit don't rhyme.
Because one says ought and one says it. They don't have the same
Good job.
sound.
That's awesome. All right, you ready for the last one? Let me see if I can trick you again.
Ears on.
Ears are on. Dog, hog. They both say og. Good job. So they do rhyme. Okay, dog, hog. Can we think of another
I got
one?
one, I got one. How about log?
Log. Let's try it. Dog, hog, log. They all say og. You guys are great. Now, we've been practicing our sounds, and we've got that song for you today. This one's called, If You Take an Octopus to Dinner. You're gonna need some space. Make sure you've got some room. Get out your octopus arms. Remember how many arms there are?
8 if you listen to the song.
Oh,
8 arms.
If you take an octopus to dinner, do not worry or make a fuss. An octopus has 8 long
Yes, it's 8 long arms.
Right.
Along as many charms.
Wave your arms like an octopus. O-C-T-O-P-U-S. Yes, yes, you'll make a mess if you take an octopus.
I don't want to have an octopus make a mess at dinner. All right, let's tango.
If you take an octopus to dinner, do not worry or make a fuss. An octopus has 8 long arms. It's one of his many charms. Wave your arms like an octopus. O-C-T-O-P-U-S. Yes, yes, you'll make a mess if you take an octopus to dinner.
Gonna tango again?
Yep, here we
Let's
go.
tango. Oh, I love that.
Hey, I love
Great
that
job.
too.
Great job at home.
Good job. I'm going to swim over here to our phonics fun board, and we're going to warm up our brains and practice some more of our sounds. So boys and girls, if you have some writing materials, get them. If you've got a whiteboard or paper, pencil, get them because maybe you can write some of these sounds down and these words down that we go over. So first we're going to warm up our brains with the bat card. B, bat, B. Next sound spelling card is our koala card. K, koala, spelled with a C, a K, and at the end of words, it's sometimes spelled with a CK. And our lemon card, L, lemon, spelled with an L, and at the end of the word, sometimes with an LE. Good review, good. See if you can stay with me. Our guitar card, G, guitar, and it's spelled with a G. And our next review card is our piano card, and it says P, piano, and it's spelled with a P. Very, very good. Next one, can you say it with me, everyone? It's the map card, map, and it's spelled with an M. Very good. Our dolphin card, that is the sound D, dolphin, and it's spelled with a D. And sometimes at the end of a word, ED says D. And the very last review card is our camel card. It says K, camel, spelled with a C, a K, and sometimes at the end of a word with a CK. Good job, wonderful job, boys and girls. All right, let's get right to blending. And so we'll look at our phonics board, and the first word that we see right over here, let's see if we can blend that. Bull, k. Remember, when two consonants are next to each other, they sometimes only say one sound. So let's do it again. Bull, k, block. Yes, very good. All right, next word. You can see that these are in green because we went over our L blends and we just try to say those two sounds quickly together. So slot, slot. Let's do it again. Slot. Very good. Good job. Okay, let's build a word. Let's see. Boy, I wish you could give me some words to build. How about sock? You want to build sock? Okay. I wonder about that last k sound. All right, that's right. We're going to start our word sock with S. Very, very good. Our focus vowel for this week is the O, sock. And what do you think it ends with? You're right, it's a CK. So we're going to put the CK up there, which makes the one k sound. And we just built the word sock. Good job. Let's do one more. I don't want to trick you, but I'm not going to use our focus vowel. I'm going to use one that we've already learned. How about the word sick? Sick. Sick. You know, sometimes we feel sick. Okay, you're right. It starts with an S, still the same as sock. And so then is it the ah sound? No. What sound is it? You've got it. It's our insect card that we had 1 week. And what do you think? How do you think you finished spelling that word? And you would be right. It is a C and a K. And we just built the word sick. 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 Good job. Okay, so boys and girls, we have been building words, blending words, and now we're going to read some words in a passage. And then we're going to try to find some of the short O sound words. All right, you ready to do that? So if you look right over here, we have a short passage, and it has a title, and all titles have capitals in them for the major words. So Ron the fox. Well, the story is going to be about Ron, and I think he's going to be a fox. And so those are big, important words, and in the title, that's what we capitalize. Some of the littler words that don't really tell us about the story don't need to be capitalized, like the. But look at, in that first title, can you see any short O words? Yeah, That's right. Ron has the short O and fox has the short O. Good job. Let's read it and you tell me when you hear that sound in a word. So our first sentence, Ron, yep, flips and flops. What do you think? Yep, you got it. It's right here, flops. Second sentence, Ron again, good job, hops and plops. Wow, do you hear any of the short O sound in any of those words? I do too, hops and plops. And our third and final sentence, clap for Ron the fox. What do you think? Yes. Okay, right here, and I heard Ron again, and I heard fox again. That's a lot of words if we counted them up for our short O sound. Good job reading, boys and girls. It's so fun when you can finally put these words and make sense in a story. So let's turn our attention to Mrs. Nix with our high frequency words.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mrs. O'Leary. So yes, we're going to be working on our high frequency words, and remember, these are words that we see often in our reading and writing, so we want to be able to read them and write them. Today's word is this word right here. It's two. Two. Okay, say it with me. Two. Let's spell it. T-O-O. Oh my goodness, look, it has two O's. You know what? You know what kind of word this is? I'm going to give you a big word. Are you ready? It's called a homophone. And that means that there's other words that sound just like this word, but they're spelled differently. So let me tell you what this one actually means. Another word you could put in this two's place is the word also. Or if you have an abundance. So if you ate too much, you'd want to make sure that you spell it T-O-O. Okay, let me show you in a sentence. This one's going to be using it like also. Okay, so if I said also, do you like dogs also would make sense because I'm wanting to know, do you like dogs? I like dogs. But if I wanted to change it and I didn't want to say also, I could use this word too, and it would sound like this when we go through and read it. Do you like dogs too? Do you see how to use that? Great job. So we used it in a sentence. We can read it, and we could go through and we could practice writing our own sentences. Those are all ways to practice high frequency words. Today I have another strategy, something you might enjoy doing at home to practice. And again, it could be our PBS high frequency words, or maybe they're words you're practicing with your teacher at your school. But this is another fun way. I always love doing things with lots of color. And so one way we can go through is we can look at all the colors in the rainbow and we can write all of our words in all the different colors. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. The yellow doesn't show up very well on camera, but when you're at home, you could use yellow. So just because I'm going to skip yellow doesn't mean you have to skip yellow. You can still use yellow. But look what I did. I took all of our high frequency words this week. Read them with me. Fun, make, they, and two. And then I started putting them in rainbow order. I went red, orange, remember I skipped the yellow, green, blue. What would come next if I had another word? Purple, you got it, good job. Okay, so I can just take my pens and I can go up and I can practice writing my words, and I can practice writing them, in my different colors. It's a great way to do that. So today's word was two. I'm gonna skip down here and I'm gonna do T-O-O, just like that, because I'm practicing all of my rainbow words. All right, so today I'm going to have Mrs. Vane come over and we're going to talk about a story, and a strategy that we're using with today's story is to ask and answer questions. And as we're reading today's story, we're going to think about what are some things that, or do some of these activities help during Mrs. Bangs?
Mrs. Next, I have a story for us to read, which we can answer that question. This is a story called Toss, Kick, Hop. Again, this is another nonfiction. Remember, nonfiction means it's real, so it's not fake because these are not pictures, these are photographs. So that's our biggest clue to tell us that it's a nonfiction text. Okay, are you guys ready to read? Let's read. So get your reading fingers ready. Thank you, Mrs. Nix, helping me turn the page so nicely so we can take care of our book. Ready? We always start with our reading fingers, right? And we start on the left side. Good job. Ready? Kids play together. And remember, as we read, we're going to read the words and look at the picture. Awesome. Let's keep going. Kids zip, zip, zip. What are they doing? They're running. You're right. Okay. Next page. Kids toss, toss, toss. Are you looking at the picture to help you? Awesome. Okay. Keep going. Kids kick, 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 too.
Hey, I'm seeing a high frequency word.
Oh, good. Good eye, Detective Mrs. Nix. There are those high frequency words showing up. Okay, are you guys ready? Remember? Good job, starting from the left. Kids make block houses. Look at what they're making. So much fun. Keep going. Ready? Kids make dolls. So fun.
All the things they're doing.
Looking at those pictures to help us. Kids hop in sacks. Hop, hop, flop. Now, did you notice something? On this page, there were two sentences. And notice I finished these two sentences before I moved on to the next page. So when you have two sentences, make sure you finish it before you go on to the next page. Ready? Now we can go to the next page because I read them both, but I'm going to quickly read, and then we're going to move on. So read with me. Ready? Kids hop in sacks. Hop, hop, flop. They have fun. Now, did you see what I did? There was an exclamation mark at the end, so I had to use an exciting voice and to make it so that I have expression as I'm reading. So instead of saying they have fun, because they're having fun, we need to say they have fun. Oh, that does sound better, doesn't it, Mrs. Nix? And guess what? Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing several of our high frequency words. We have they and fun. So they're all over the place.
Look at that. So is that what you mean when you say as you read, look for those words?
Absolutely. They're going to pop up all the time.
Awesome job. Thank you, Mrs. Nix. But you know what? Let's go and talk about our key details. Because as we were reading, we were looking for some key details. I want you guys to remember some key details that happened in this story. And remember, key details tell important information about the text. So to find a key detail that tells about one way that friends play together. So think about that. We need to find a detail about how friends play together. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use the words and the pictures to help us. So that means we're going to go back and just reread some of the pages. Not all of the text, but just some. So we're going to go back and read this page so that we can find some details.
My, oh my, did somebody say reread?
Hello, Rhonda. I did. I said we need to go back and read to find some key details. Can you help us?
Well, Reread Rhonda is here to help.
Perfect. Can you help me reread page 46?
I surely can. Kids toss, toss, toss.
Oh, such good rereading. Thank you, Rhonda. Now, let's look using the picture, and the words to help us. Because I don't want to just put kids toss, toss, toss on my page. No, I want to use the picture and the words. So what are they tossing? Some balls.
Yeah.
So can my sentence be kids toss balls?
Sure, why not, right? That would make sense.
Because that's a detail.
Yep.
I don't want to copy it, right? So let's put that on there. So my first details was kids toss balls. Let's put that in. Do you like that, Rhonda?
I surely do.
Awesome. Now-
Correct.
Are you ready to help me reread another page?
Let's do it.
Okay, are you ready? So, can you help me read page 49 again? Read it for me.
Surely, kids make balls.
Oh, did I say balls?
Kids make dolls.
Oh,
Reread Rhonda.
I like that you went back and I saw your eyes. You were looking at the pictures and you went, those aren't balls, those are dolls. Is that what you were doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you for, is it okay to make mistakes and then just go back and fix them? Yes, it's okay, boys and girls. That's how our brain gets smarter. Okay, so what's another detail? That's right. They were making the dolls. Let's put that up. Okay, last page. Okay, Rhonda, help us reread.
Kids hop in sacks. Hop, hop, flop.
Oh, thank you. So what's another detail? They're hopping in sacks. Again, I don't want to write them both those sentences, so we're just going to say, how about kids hop in sacks? How about that? Awesome job. Thank you, Mrs. Nix, for helping. Thank you, Rhonda, for helping me read. So boys and girls, now here's my writing prompt for you guys, and I want you guys to think about this. So, how can you be a better friend to your classmates? I want you to think about it. What can we do to help our friends, or not help our friends, but how can we be better friends for them? So I started with my sentence with, I can be a better friend by, and Tina's here to help me. Thank you, Tina.
Totally help, Mrs. Bing. I have a great idea.
Okay, how can you be a better friend to your classmates?
You can be a good listener.
Oh, that's a great idea. Can we be great listeners? Yes, that's one way of being a great friend to your classmates. How about, I was thinking this one, how about taking turns and sharing?
That's so
Do you like that,
That's
Tina?
a great one.
Because remember, we want to help our friends. Now, I have another great story to share with you guys. Let's see if you guys enjoy this story. Are you guys ready?
Hi, I'm Mrs. Hatch. I am a kindergarten teacher at Thomas Elementary, and I absolutely love books. Today I have a very special book I want you to think about reading. It's called Big Bad Wolf is Good. I like it because I like to think that everything gets second chances, and we can all make good choices. Now, I'm going to show you a quick picture. Hang on. This is how everybody thinks a big bad wolf. But that's not who he wants to be. He wants to be good. I don't know. Do you think Big Bad Wolf can be good? I think you should read it and find out.
Thank you, Mrs. Hatch, for sharing that book with us. I can't wait to read that book. Have you guys read that book before?
I haven't. I'm so excited to check it out.
I know, I can't wait to check that out because that's a book that I have not read before. So boys and girls, make sure you guys can go check it out on store or at your county library.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yeah, owl says.
Owl says who?
Yes, they do. Who?
Oh my
That's a
goodness.
great
That was
one.
awesome. Have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. See you
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.